when you hear that death rattle. It's not just a fight or a battle. Prepare for lots of blood and gore. It's Spintown with some more bad wars.
Welcome to Spintown. Today I'm going to show you how I go about hitting some of my trick shots. All of them are a little different, so I'll focus mainly on a recent shot I hit called the teleporting double tap. This shot did really well on Reddit, and it was the top post of the day in 3 different Minecraft subreddits. Here's what it looks like from 4 different angles. So this shot involves shooting someone from 2 different places, and the second shot has to come while they're falling into the void. At first you would think the second shot would be the only hard part of hitting this. I know that's what I thought when I came up with the idea. But the first shot also proved challenging because you have to rush it a lot more than you normally would. Sometimes, depending on your setup, you don't even get to fully charge the bow. The first thing you do is throw an ender pearl, and before the ender pearl lands, you have to have the first shot in the air already. So using a map with a bigger gap to middle and a middle that's elevated works best. Amazon is one of my favorite maps, and it's set up really well for this shot. When I first came up with the idea, I pictured me standing here in the middle and someone charging the middle down a bridge. I thought that if I could throw a pearl over and behind the bridge, then shoot the player, it would put me in a perfect position for a second shot. Now I know this isn't how the clip I showed you was set up, but that's the final product, and it's not how I started out trying to hit the shot, so bear with me. This shot, along with others, often require very specific circumstances to pull off. When I first started looking for opportunities to do this, I was getting a bit discouraged. I was rarely running into someone at the right moment to even attempt it. So once I got my gear, I started making a bridge from middle to a base with a bed and a player in it. Most of the time, they would start countering my bridge by making their own, and normally even finish it if I backed off a bit. Doing this created a lot more opportunities for me. One thing I learned early on with these setup shots is that you still can't predict everything someone will do. For instance, here I am sitting in an in-stone bunker over the void, just hoping someone runs down a bridge to kill me. I was going to fireball up and out of the hole when they got close, pearl to the diamond island, and then the guy would be stuck on the bridge while I have my punch bow trained at him. But the first guy decides to ignore the bridge I started and bridge over me from a nearby base to drop TNT on me. I tried again the next game, and the guy had an ender pearl with him. What I was trying to do is actually easy to pull off, but the players weren't acting as I hoped they would. In this next clip, I was hoping to pearl straight up and then run down a dead-end bridge with the guy chasing me. When the pearl lands, I would be behind him and he would be stranded with nowhere to go. I've landed this shot a couple times in videos, but sometimes they just don't follow you. Now with the teleporting double tap, the biggest problem I had with players is them seeing the pearl throw. Almost all the time they turn around to get back to their bed, but everyone reacted differently. Some of them saw it and turned instantly, while some were slower or just heard it react afterwards. Remember, you don't have much time to get that first shot off, so you basically have to guess whether the guy will turn around quickly or not. Because of this factor, the best time to attempt this shot is when they're still making the bridge. They're less likely to see you throw the pearl, and they're moving in a more predictable way. Here's a look at a few failed attempts of them running down a bridge towards me. One thing you'll notice is sometimes you don't have a great angle to land your pearl exactly where you would want, so sometimes you can't land on the opposite side of the bridge. When that happens, the bridge makes your second shot a lot harder. You already have to pick out your target really quick after teleporting when you do everything perfectly, but when you're not in a good position, you have to wait until they clear the bridge to take your shot, making your window even smaller. Here's some more failed attempts where I'm shooting the first shot while they're bridging. Way easier to hit the first shot, but getting the perfect pearl throw was still an issue at times. One thing I should mention is when I do a normal double tap, I don't really have to adjust my aim left to right at all for the second shot. Maybe a little, but mostly it's just lowering the second shot. But with the teleporting double tap, you have to readjust everything. So that's why I'm really struggling, and you can see it here with the second shot. I'm missing to the left or to the right a lot. It's just because I'm not used to having to do this when I double tap someone, and I'm not used to having to do it this fast. So that was probably my biggest struggle overall. Fucking hell. At some point, I decided to try a second setup. I had been using the current setup because it allowed me to yeet the players closer to me, and because they were elevated more than I was, which gave me another half second or so to track them and shoot the second shot. But by shooting them as they ran down a rush bridge, it allowed me to make a better pearl throw, which put me in a better position to hit the second shot. I would lose a little time to react with the second shot, but it was an acceptable trade-off. After one attempt, I knew that both were viable options and could work. Here's some failed attempts from rush bridges. Damn it. If I hit the first shot, I might have got it. Did you just pearl to there? Ah, I missed. I turned perfectly because that would have been that would have been that would have been a really tough shot, but I turned good, so that would have helped. You can see a lot of close calls, and even Hypixel seemed to be against me hitting this shot. I'm pretty sure this guy would have been the first guy I killed with the shot if Hypixel didn't lag him back twice. If you decide to do trick shots, the most important thing to know is that you will fail, and the idea you originally come up with may need to be modified. Now, my original idea in this case is still sound, and I will hit the original setup at some point, but there are other shots I did have to make adjustments to. You should also expect to lose more games if you try stuff like this. I've lost a lot of games just because I was messing around trying to set up or land a trick shot when I could have just won the game. When I come up with an idea for a shot, the process is usually similar to how I landed this one. Of course, most are spur-of-the-moment things, like me seeing someone double TNT boosting in the distance. Taking a shot at him mid-air is a good opportunity for video content, and most importantly, practice. Paying attention to how people fly through the air with boost and jump potions, and actually taking shots at them is the only way to get better at hitting them. Sure, I missed this shot, but you've seen me make a ton of them in my trick shot videos. Here's an example of me coming up with an idea that's totally random and on the spot. This guy was trying to bridge out of his base and making a wall to avoid my arrows. I decided to double pearl. I would land behind him, spam him to get him out from behind his wall, then teleport back to where I was to yeet him into the void. Another fail, but you'll never hit a shot you're afraid to take. Alright, we're gonna try something. Come on. Come on, pillar up. Where's he at? No! Dang it. I missed the one shot I had to get him right there. That was a good idea though, I think. No matter what shot you want to hit, practice, fail, and practice some more. I hope seeing a little behind the scenes helps anyone who might want to try the teleporting double tap or others. This double tap definitely took more attempts to land than any other trick shot I've set out to do. It's not all that hard, but it does take some attempts to get the timing, and you need a little luck. You'll probably see me hit this shot a number of times in the future. It's not something I'll be working on specifically anymore, but now that I know the timing, if I see the perfect setup in-game, I'm sure as hell going to take that shot. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. If you didn't get enough Spintown for today, you can click on the left thumbnail to watch my most recent trick shots video, or the right one to watch my most recent music video. Remember, there's a brand new video here every single Monday, so until then, spin out.